Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hindu Explain series. I am Kushagra Goel, and today I am going to follow a different format because today is the big day for you all because the date of the examination of CLAT 2021 has been announced. Okay, so at the background of me is the page 3 of today's Hindu newspaper, and here is the advertisement which notification which confirms the date of the CLAT examination. And therefore today I am beginning the video with the announcement of this. What all do we know now for you all is that the application for applying begins on January 1st, okay, and the last date of submission of online application is 31st March 2021, okay. And the next thing that you all need to note down is that the date of the examination is May 2021 from 3 to 5 p.m., okay. But the offline, as of now the exam is stated to be offline mode but subject to revision of necessity. So based on the COVID condition in the country and at different centers, the mode of the examination may change. Nevertheless, now you have approximately 4 months before you all for the examination. It is the beautiful time. This time period was something that I found personally very satisfying. It has something that has been carried on as an imprint of my life, right? I was relieved, I was excited, and I hope you all believe in the same feeling. Because see, the examination is a doorway. The examination is finally when you can see the door in front of you and you have all the keys with you to open it, right? So believe in yourself, believe in what you have done. Don't panic on what you have been doing. Be consistent. Don't get afraid if someone tells you ki, oh, this is something that has been there, this is something that has been there. Don't worry of all of that, okay. Now is the time for you all to believe in what you have been doing. Brush up on what things, the cobwebs that have been there, because now the date of the examination is in front of you all, okay. We are at Law Prep Tutorial are there with all our students and all those who are watching this to help them realize their career path for national law universities. We are there to help you all. The video series is there to brush up on your current affairs on a daily basis. The vocabulary series by Sonia ma'am is also there to brush up on your English. So don't worry. Anything that any other concerns that you have now for the examination, feel free to contact us through our website. So again, the date of the examination is out. It is on 9th May 2021, okay. So now let's dive into today's newspaper, okay. So two doubts students had. One was with regards to the DTH approval in FDI, okay. So see, this is a policy update, okay. It is a policy decision that the government has taken. There is no dispute about it, okay. DTH services, Tata Sky, Dish TV, Jio, Airtel, all of that through which you watch your television are D2H, direct to home services, right? So under that now companies can take foreign direct investment up to 100%, okay. So that is a relief. That is something that the industry wanted because of new competition that is coming up in the form of over the top platforms, online streaming services, right? So in regards to that, the government has taken a policy decision. There is no dispute about it. The next question a lot of students had, because yesterday we discussed the article by Faizan sir, right? Now in that, about article 356 and the word otherwise. So the article tells you what this otherwise means. One question about otherwise: can the High Court suggest to the President for breakdown of constitutional machinery? Now that is something that the Supreme Court will answer. So I am in no position to answer it for you all. We have to wait for the Supreme Court judgment. In relation to that, an auxiliary question comes: what is the breakdown of constitutional machinery? What is constitutional machinery? Constitutional machinery are all those things that hold the state up, right? So for example, the collectorate office, the secretariat, the police administration, the judicial system, if any of that, who protects all of this? The executive in a particular state is entrusted with the responsibility of making the laws and governing the state. When a situation arises when you cannot govern a state, so for example, during the demolition of Babri Masjid in 1992, the government of UP under the Bharatiya Janata Party had been asked by the Supreme Court to certify that they will be able to protect the mosque, but they were unable to do, and the mob demolished the mosque, right? In background of that, that government was dismissed by the president, because it is the responsibility of an elected government to police the state. Similarly, during the insurgency in Punjab or terrorist attacks in different places, for example, when there was terror areas in Assam, the government there was dismissed in light of they not being able to govern the state, police the state. Responsibility of policing the state, ensuring law and order is something that has to be maintained by the state government, right? So therefore, it is an example of constitutional machinery. When that breaks down, the governor can suggest to the president or the chief minister or any executive body can suggest to the president to dismiss the state government and impose presidential rule. Recently, when the hung parliament existed in Maharashtra, again presidential rule was imposed until the MVA government was put in place by a coalition alliance of Shiv Sena, NCP and the Congress party. So those are different facets of constitutional machinery, okay. Another question with regards to this is judicial activism or active judiciary. So for example, under PIL or public interest litigations, even the Chief Justice, for example, if he is moving across a road and he sees there are too many potholes, he can call up the executive to respond to the dilapidated conditions of the road in the court of law. Or for example, about prison conditions, the idea of public interest litigation came up through that. Now for example, similarly about pollution in Delhi, we have seen how those questions are answered before the Supreme Court also. So when the court takes up a matter of public concern on itself and ensures that the executive and the legislature respond to what is happening on the ground, or for example during the anti-CAA protest, the Supreme Court formed a 3-member panel to mediate between the protesters and the government because they were not coming on a same table, unlike with regards to the farms protest, right, where the government and the farmers are talking. Now in all of that, when the judiciary, normally what happens, people who have a dispute go to the court and ask the court to resolve it. When the court actively takes a course to ensure a dispute is resolved, that is known as judicial activism, okay. So in light of this, if there are any more doubts that you have, feel free to put them in the comment section, okay. Now let's dive into today's newspaper. So on the front page, yesterday Prime Minister Narendra Modi was announcing the Ayushman Bharat Sehat scheme in Jammu and Kashmir. So now that it is a union territory, the Ayushman Bharat, which is a flagship scheme of the Modi government, has been launched in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. That is one thing, okay. The farmers have agreed to talk to the government, so we'll have to wait on updates about this. On this news, the MP cabinet's nod for anti-conversion bill. So for this, we have dealt in detail about the case of Shafeen Jahan versus Ashokan KM, and I have discussed all the facets about this, okay. I have told you that, see, this is a policy concern, but the Supreme Court and different high courts have given judicial pronouncements on that regard. So that is a principle that we have discussed, where individuals, adults are free to make a decision and no one else can interfere in that decision. Similarly here, for example, in the anti-conversion bill of Madhya Pradesh, parents, legal guardian, custodian, brothers and sisters of a converted person can lodge a complaint. Now if someone who is an adult has made a choice themselves, who are the others to question, right? So all of those things we had discussed in the case and in different other judgments. So based on this, this is something that has been in news. Now we have discussed the legal principles of that, okay. So therefore, if those who haven't watched it, I highly recommend that you watch our previous videos where we have discussed the case of Shafeen Jahan versus Ashokan KM. Now all the Supreme Court cases here, again I am highlighting, are not to be remembered. Everything about them is not to be remembered. Different principles of different cases are those things that have to be remembered in general. Apart from that, believe in the principle, your studies and everything else that we teach you. Not every Supreme Court case is relevant. You don't have to mug up all the Supreme Court cases. Even in this case of Shafeen Jahan versus Ashokan KM, different principles that I have told you under Article 19 and Article 21 are the only thing that become relevant. Okay. So now moving on, this is update from the Hathras case where the family is now under strict police vigilance and is also being boycotted socially by the members of the village in which they reside. So the family is like asking the government to relocate the trial in Delhi and also relocate the family in Delhi because they don't feel safe in the original village where they inhabited. Okay. So that is a concern for the state government to address if the people are not feeling secure. Okay. Then on the left hand side you can see about tightening the noose on white collar frauds. What are white collar frauds? Banking frauds that are taking place on a daily basis, fraud with regards to online transactions, other white collar crime, for example taxation, tax or banking fraud with regards to loan properties or all of that. So an update here that the Delhi police has been able to rein in with the, on their part they have resolved the cases on 98.3%. Okay. So that is one thing. All you need to know are what formulates white collar crime in general. Okay. A lot of national law universities offer specific courses on how, what constitutes white collar crime, corruption, higher offices corruption, banking scandals, different cases between different companies that defraud, tax defraud for example, all of that formulate white collar crime. Okay. So that is something that all of you should look forward to if you are interested, that being at NLUs also gives you in-depth understanding of these specific niche areas that are coming up. Okay. So again, apart from that, there is more political news today for us. Okay. As you know, it is a Sunday, so there are no editorials today. So it's a continuing thing. And on that point, the most important thing that for us on the general newspaper today is most of it is political news with the protests about farmer and the government, talks about to begin, different perspectives being thrown in, then different polls that are about to begin. Okay, so on that point Prime Minister has spoken, and then there is update about the Jal Jeevan Mission. What is the Jal Jeevan Mission? Jal Jeevan Mission is to have tap water for every household by 2024. That is a policy of the government. Okay, so this scheme Jal Jeevan Mission, a new ministry, the old Ganga cleaning ministry has been reformed into Jal Jeevan Mission. Okay, so that is something that you all need to know. Okay. Apart from that, there is more political news only. For example, on the left hand side, the Congress party was stopped from taking doing out their marches. So that is something about political concern about how the right to freedom and right to assemble and make your political point, that is there. Okay. Then here is another update on a scientific level. Okay, a new species of rose, sun rose, okay, has been found in the Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats are on the Bay of Bengal side. Okay, the name of the plant is Portulaca lalgiri. Okay, so that is something that you can keep in note. It is found in the Prakasam district in Andhra Pradesh. Okay. The Brexit deal details are something that have finally been released. More and more updates from that will come. So when we have final concrete analysis of what has been decided in the Brexit deal, we will discuss it here because a little bit of history of Brexit I have already explained you all. Okay. Apart from that, there is the controversy of President Donald Trump not approving the financial bill, which is threatening to put the government under a financial lockdown. Okay, where there will be no approved budget. Okay, and on the profiling page of the Hindu on every Sunday that comes, we have, yesterday I had talked about how the Alibaba group headed by Jack Ma is now in a cold fight with the Communist Party of China. And here is the profile of the journey of Alibaba group from the days where they were the poster boy of the Communist Party of China and the growth boom of China in the 1990s and 2000 to the controversy and the cold fight that is now taking place between the two parties. Okay. On the left hand side, we have the profile of the youngest mayor of Thiruvananthapuram. Yesterday we had talked about her and where she might become. Now it has been announced Rajendran, a 21-year BSc student, will be the mayor of Thiruvananthapuram. Okay. On the left hand side, there is news about mercenaries from America. So what is this talking about? This news is about a Blackwater Worldwide, a private security firm that had been hired by CIA to kill terrorists, but most of it has been financial fraud, that they took a lot of money from government but did not actually do anything. So this is a formal method of mercenary militias. What are mercenaries or militias? Paid killers, right? So the government hired this private agency who are trained not by the armed forces of United States but separately to take out strikes or do actions, okay, and they were unsuccessful. Why is this news? Because Donald Trump has pardoned certain members of this group. The presidential pardon of United States is distinct from the presidential pardon of India. So under Article 2 Section 1 Clause 1 of the US Constitution, the president has the absolute right to pardon anyone for federal crimes. Federal crimes means national crimes, okay. So there the legislature or the Congress there has no control over it. This is distinct from India's case where the president has to if for example they can only pardon for death sentences, death penalty, they can commute or pardon it, but that is also based on the recommendation of the cabinet. Only when the cabinet says ki okay, then the president decides in a particular manner, okay. If the president decides to, or if the cabinet and the president are at loggerheads, that is they are not agreeing to what happens, it is the decision of the cabinet that prevails. No such thing happens with the US president. He has this power as absolute. There is no rein in on him or no control, okay. So that is it about this. The distinction here, for India it is only for death penalties, here it is for any presidential crime, federal crimes, okay, the US president can pardon. Apart from that, there is COVID update, that whether the first wave of COVID is receding, because for example the cases now have finally been below 20,000 after 6 months time period. Most of the states have recorded a reduction in the number of infections. So there is possibility that the first wave of COVID is receding, but we need to be aware, stay vigilant. All of you should wear mask whenever you step out, because experience from Europe and North America is that after the first wave, the second wave were most deadlier, more infectious, right? So that is the concern. Apart from that, this article about Ramanujam, the last notebook about him which was lost, okay, so that is something that this is talking about how George Andrews found this lost notebook after accidentally, basically, okay. So that is the fourth book about him of his mathematical research, okay. Then these are articles analyzing the different situation in different areas. So this is India and its neighborhood with regards to LAC and the conflict with Pakistan, and how India has tried to become closer to its other neighbors to navigate through, and have also strengthened the Quad relationship. Recently, within this week, the Legion of Merit was granted to the prime ministers of the other Quad countries by United States. So it tells us how Quad is strengthening itself, okay. Then slump and green shoots of recovery. We have been talking about V-shaped, U-shaped recovery. Now we have to wait for the update from Q3 results of the economy, because budget will also come in January end, okay. Then understanding the new COVID variant. This is something that we have talked about, the new COVID variant and what it is, what is the name of it, what we all know about it, okay. On the economic front, apart from that, there is not much for us to discuss, and the same is for the sporting front, okay. So with this, we end today's newspaper. There is no news for you to understand from in-depth perspective apart from the presidential pardon that I talked about when we were discussing that article. So now the date of the examination is out. Buck up yourself, because now is the beautiful time period of your life, because that will let you enter the colleges of your dream, of your institutions that you believe are best equipped to train you for what lies ahead in life. So therefore, pull up your socks and start preparing for CLAT. And for any assistance on that, we at Law Prep Tutorial are here to help you with all of that. Any other guidance that you need, feel free to contact us through our website and the numbers given there. On this note, I sign off for today. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for other videos and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you.